Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. People said it wouldn't last, but guess what? We're still here.
How many months have we been on? Because we've been doing this for a while now.
November 4th was our first show. So
Wow.
What is that, 6 going on 7 months already?
Well, if you survive the first year of business, you got it made. So we're almost there.
That's what they say. Absolutely. My name is Aaron Phillips, member of the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame of 2018. And to my right, the incomparable illustrator, nationally recognized, award-winning, 46 years or so, trying to stay within the lines. It's like color by numbers. Mr. Neil Portnoy. How are you, partner?
I'm great. Another beautiful day. Boy, the weather report, the weathermen, women, etc., got it wrong.
Yeah.
They said it was going to rain all weekend and, thunderstorms coming from all directions. It is an absolutely beautiful day.
Yeah.
I had a coffee this morning outside in my backyard. You like that better?
Backyard?
Yeah.
Yes, that's good that you're enunciating.
Yeah, right. Gorgeous day. Had breakfast this morning. Came into the gallery, get some artwork done. Ready to go. We have a tremendous show today.
Yes.
Very informative with our guest, who you will get to meet shortly. What's happening in the news?
What's happening in the news? Well, you mentioned the weather. By the way, for Mother's Day tomorrow, it's supposed to be high of 88. So you know it's never going to rain on Mother's Day.
No.
So the weather had to clear out. By the way, happy early Mother's Day to all you mothers out there, or fathers that are also mothers, because there are a lot of single dads out there that are both moms and dads.
Correct.
So, and if you're any other kind of mother, well, take it however you need to. But anyway, so let's talk about the weather for a second, because the weather, like you said, has been beautiful the last day or so. But boy, Thursday night wasn't so beautiful. That thunder and lightning, my goodness.
I saw your comment. I mean, I heard that one bang.
Yeah.
And I looked around, and Cooper, my little Yorkie.
Yeah.
We never thought that he would react to any of the weather. He got scared.
My dogs even popped their heads up. But I'll tell you what, I turned the volume off on my TV set. I think that's the longest vibrating clap of thunder for however long it kept rolling that I've ever heard. I swear that they let the bomb off over my house. So, and a lot of people were posting about it. But here's the interesting thing about it, is that we have already exceeded the average rainfall per year here in the Valley.
Which is what, an inch?
But yeah, it's like it's barely about 4 inches a year, maybe 4.5, a touch under. So that tells you how crazy. And yet April was not a terribly wet month. You know, what's the old saying? April showers bring May flowers.
Flowers, yeah.
Wasn't a whole lot of rain in April that I can recall, but there was earlier this year. And so we've already eclipsed average annual totals for the Valley. It's crazy.
Well, and temperature-wise, last year at this time, it was over 100 degrees. It has been a great spring in the Valley.
Weather's been up and down, like 80s, 90s, and then down to 60s like 2 days later, and then it bounces back up.
Yeah, but don't you love when you get the comment from people back east? I can't believe I had 2 days of sunshine. It's great out here.
And it's 60 degrees with that sunshine. Yeah. So, hey, listen, I was out by the pool a couple of weeks ago. I can honestly tell you, I've never sat by a pool in the middle of April ever.
It's great.
So
love it.
But now my pool is locked down like it's a penitentiary. They changed the locks from a key lock to one of these little mini key fobs, right? And something happened where one day I got a second key fob that I had to see if it was activated. And I go over to the pool, and there are these heavy-duty chains, links that are like this big, wrapped around the door through the fence on both ends. It looked like a penitentiary.
Like the one I wore that day when we had the wrestlers in
right,
here
when Frank the Tank was. Exactly.
Yeah, I had
exactly.
one of those.
Yes, you did. Weighed you down, too. But anyway, so hopefully that'll be fixed sooner than later. Okay, a couple of things in the news I found interesting. Did you hear about this teacher in San Francisco who had to take time off for medical reasons? This teacher, she was battling cancer, right? So she obviously took time off and an extended leave. Now, in the San Francisco School District, teachers get 10 sick days and 100 days of extended leave time, right? So here's a law that they had in effect since the 70s out there. And I don't know what the situation was back in the 70s to have them do this, but it says the following: teachers who use up their sick days and is on extended time, the district charges the teacher $195 per day to cover the cost of the sub, and it's taken out of their salary.
That's crazy.
When have you ever heard a teacher having to pay for their sub? First of all, I wouldn't mind getting paid $195 a day.
Capriotti's, I pay for my sub.
Well, yes, that's true. That's a good one. That's very true. But and there was nothing in the story that indicated they were looking into this in terms of changing the law. But a lot of friends, faculty, and whatnot, they've set up a GoFundMe or something to raise funds. But I mean, think about, I don't know what this teacher's getting paid, but 5 days a week at $109, that's $1,000 a week that she'd be supplementing for a substitute teacher out of her own salary.
Yeah, she wouldn't be getting a salary.
Yeah,
she'd be losing money.
No, they were trying to rationalize it by saying that teachers in California don't pay for their disability. So she's getting paid through disability, but disability is not paying enough.
I'm surprised they don't have a policy in place that covers any added expenses that they may incur from loss of work.
I don't know.
Aflac.
I don't know. Hello, Diane. Aflac. There you go.
Aflac.
We'll see. And that's a voluntary program that the individual has to pay for. And I got to be honest with you, in the past, I've had Aflac policies and they've become very handy, actually.
Yeah,
but
I've got
that's crazy. I hope they do something about that. In the meantime, and I forgot to ask my wife about this, last week was also in the news that the teachers here in CCSD were meeting to possibly strike, and they were starting to take votes as to whether they wanted to strike because of the budget.
They are going to strike. Sisolak promised in his campaign, Governor Sisolak, that there would be changes in the Clark County teachers' pay and all the rules and regs, and the legislature is just fighting him and not giving him. The superintendent has argued against what he wants to put into place. You know what? We'll see what happens.
Sam Peters, thank you for joining us. In case you don't know Sam Peters, you know Sam, don't you?
Sam is our next senator.
We have to be careful now. Remember, we don't talk politics, but he owns 2 All-State agencies here in town. A great guy, and he supported a lot of causes.
Fellow Rotarian.
And he is, as you said, he is running for a political seat here in town. And one of the reasons he's doing this is because he wants to make a difference in one of the areas, because he has young children in the school district.
Correct.
So, Sam, I would love your thoughts. You can just type them in the chat room about the possibility of the strike and what your thoughts are.
Also, Sam's got a golf tournament, a fundraiser coming up. I want to make mention of that. I did get your text, Sam. Golf is the only game you yell 4, make 5, and put down 3. So that, my golf game has gone the opposite direction from what it used to be.
And I usually do that on the putt-putt courses.
Yeah, that clown's mouth gets me every time.
For me, it's the windmill.
Oh, all right.
It's the timing
We
thing.
should play.
Listen, well, it's funny. I did not get an invite for this golf tournament.
I'll send it to you. I'll
I
forward
want
it
it from Sam. Sam, send me that.
Also, if you can, Sam, in the
Thank you,
chat
Sam.
room, give us a little more information on that so we can make mention of the date and what the costs are and all that good stuff. If people want to sponsor a whole, sponsor a foursome, sponsor meet it for good laughs and yucks, you know how that works.
Maybe we'll figure out a way that, without making it seem like we're talking politics, maybe later on after midsummer, whatever.
I got a great idea.
We can get Sam on.
I got a great idea because I come up with, as you know, great ideas.
At least once a month.
We do a live remote twin brothers from different mothers at the golf course and talk to all the people and bring them on as they get to the first tee and second tee and
Do you know the date of the golf tournament?
I do, but I don't. That's why I asked.
All right, Sam, put the date in there and time. And if you would like twin brothers from different mothers, if we can make it work, maybe we'll just do a live broadcast from there for a little bit. So that would be cool if we can do that. Oh, wait a minute. This just in. I wish we had the teletype sound. Oh, I got it right here. Thank you to Lindsay. See, she's on top of it. That's why I like her. This is early.
What time?
Wait a minute. It's Friday, May 24th. It's like in a week. It's the Friday Memorial Day weekend. By the way, Sam, notice the type of hat I have on for you military folk.
Red Sox. No, it's a Yankee thing. I'm sorry.
But it's their military design that they usually wear on Memorial Day weekend. So May 24th.
Why don't you have a pink one on for Mother's Day tomorrow? You don't have a pink Yankees hat?
I don't.
They make them,
I'll wear my pink underwear. Friday, May 24th. Check-in is 7 a.m.
We can't see that.
No one has to. Do you have to trust me?
Right.
Well, there's pink on the cord.
There is, but there's a reason for that.
There's a reason for that. Okay, so it's May 24th, Aliante Golf Course, 2850 West Elkhorn Road. Scramble starts at 7:30 for 9-hole players, 8:30 a.m. for 18-hole players. This is, of course, a fundraising event for Sam, who is former military. So sponsorship holes are available. There's Eagle sponsors, birdie sponsors, par sponsors, card sponsors, hole and raffle prizes. Heck, you can even sponsor twin brothers from different mothers to show up. Maybe. So, Sam, let us know if that's something you would like us to do and do a little live coverage for you. So, by the way, you can also thank Lindsay for doing your job and giving me the information. So we appreciate that. Hello, everybody out there in the chat room. We appreciate you guys for doing that. All right, a couple more things before we bring up our guests. Did you see this about Walmart, Neil, this past week? You and I are, you might be in the right line of business. I'm definitely not in the right line of business. Walmart managers. You know how many managers there are for Walmart across the country? Take a guess.
3 for each store.
Okay.
How many stores do they have?
I have no idea. But
I wanted
well,
to do
here's
the math.
here's an idea.
I was going to do the math.
They have 4,700 store managers.
Really?
Okay? Yeah.
How many
Okay.
stores do they have? Oh, we already went through this. You don't know.
They have 4,700 store managers. How many stores do they have?
4,700.
There you go. Even my first graders can get that.
Grant's
answer.
buried in Grant's tomb, by the way.
If a plane crashes in Mexico and the United States,
You
like
don't
right on the
bury
border-
survivors.
There you
Don't
go.
even
Okay.
finish that. I know that one.
Do you know that they're making an average of $175,000 a year as a store manager for Walmart?
No, I didn't realize that. They make that much money.
Now, maybe that includes their entire comp plan and everything, but still,
That's a lot of money.
That's not bad for.
Maybe I'll put an application.
That's what I said. Little thing. Oh, now there's a crisis in the world, folks. This is serious stuff. I saw this morning, and I panicked.
Not enough managers?
If I had nothing to do, I'm off of Walmart now.
Oh,
Stick with
okay.
me.
All right.
Rosa Negra, one of the best lady professional wrestlers I've ever seen. I met her at the Cauliflower Club. She just jumped into the chat room. She lives in Florida, originally from Puerto Rico. She's a great physical trainer, personal trainer and stuff. Rosa, thank you so much for joining us. Reshare our link. By the way, all of you in the chat room, reshare the link. Go to the left-hand corner and it says invite friends, or reshare it at the bottom, whatever works. We would appreciate you spidering this show for everybody. Here's the crisis. Go ahead.
I want to just throw one more quick
Sure.
little blurb in there. My breakfast, weekend breakfast person. On the 18th of May, first annual Las Vegas Polish Festival. You walk in, you leave out, and your last name ends in ski. It's 7 days.
We do shot ski.
Right, shot skis. 11 in the morning, 10 p.m. at Our Lady of Las Vegas School, 3046 Alta Drive, Las Vegas. Great event. You learn to do the polka, I think. I don't know, maybe. And you learn to talk in Polish ski. That's it. I'm done.
Okay. By the way, let me clarify. We are now international, even though Puerto Rico is still part of the United States, isn't it? I'm geographically ignorant, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. That's why I can never be a weatherman.
That's where Alex Core is from, Puerto Rico, because he didn't go to the White House because they're not giving him enough money for but no more politics.
No more. Anyway, so where did it go? Where'd it go? Oh, here. No, I lost it. Where'd you go? Hold on. No, I lost. Oh, her professional name is La Rosa Negra, and she currently is in Puerto Rico right now. So we are sort of international, right? We kind of went out of the U.S. borders.
Yeah.
So, all right. Hello to everybody in Puerto Rico. Thank you so much for joining us. Sam did put some stuff in the chat room, which you can read about how important education is to him. And anyway, all right, so here's the crisis. You ready?
Yeah.
45 Party City stores across the country are closing. And ask me why.
Why?
You ready for this?
Yeah.
There's a helium shortage across the
You're
country.
kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you. There's a helium shortage. And so Party City is going to have to close 45 stores across the country because not only the helium itself, but that's obviously affecting literally balloon sales, latex, and all these other things that helium is supposed to be part of. And on top of that, what they're hoping to do is Party City is hoping to sign a new contract with the new helium provider, okay, that will supply them for like 2.5 years worth of helium. Now, how do you make helium?
I don't know, but that's another high for Las Vegas. I mean, we're going to be known as the high capital of the world.
That's right. That is right. And here's the thing. They don't know if any of the stores here in Las Vegas will be affected. But yes.
I wonder if Michelle Rothstein from Balloons with a Twist would be affected by this situation.
Oh, I know she sometimes pops in and out, but we've got to get her thoughts on that for sure. Last but not least, I just want to give this last pop here. Tomorrow, Mother's Day, if you're looking for something different to do, Big Valley Wrestling will be down at the Sahara Event Center, 2 p.m. It is Mayhem Meltdown is the card. Great matches scheduled. I will be there providing commentary. Come on down. Look, it's $12 a ticket for adults, 2 for 1 for seniors. Kids under 12 are free. Just come on down, have a good time, something different. And then it ends early enough you can still go out for dinner with Mom, which is what my plan is with my dad and Jerry and everybody.
Nice.
We're going to Buca right by us for.
I'm actually going to Twin Brothers. I'm going to my mother's house.
I saw you were there last week too.
Yeah.
Haven't been there in a while. So say hello. Oh, by the way, you should talk to Mike and Laura up there. By the way,
yeah.
Take our new pricing sponsorship.
I'm going to bring it over. I plan on bringing them. Just for those viewers and listeners out there, Twin Brothers from Different Mothers is one of, because you never say the one, fastest growing podcast here in Las Vegas, broadcasting worldwide. There are many opportunities to sponsor the show for a 90-day commitment and be the official sponsor of Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. We have other packages where you can be a sponsor for that show.
Especially our big one coming up on June 8th.
Yeah, June 8th. Let's let the cat out of the bag.
Well, I think I kind of have with my little
We have
teasers.
a very, very special guest coming on June 8th, Vinay
Yo,
from the Bronx Wanderers, who just became an uncle.
I saw that on the news.
Congratulations to Sam and Nikki, a baby girl born yesterday. She was in labor for 13 hours.
Jeez.
8-pound baby.
Yikes.
But mother and child, little girl, doing fine. Congratulations to the Adinolfi family, Bronx Wanderers family, and we got a little Bronx Wanderer running around.
June 8th, right here at the gallery, special showtime from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. because Vinay will be bringing his guitar, right? You said he's going to play a little music.
He's got his CDs. We're going to do a red carpet.
Meet and greet,
some signings, and hope to get the gallery packed for that event.
Yes. And are we going to have our giveaways are we going to have our little tchotchkes by then?
Yeah. I'm working on that for Monday. That's on my calendar to get those all done. And
Right
that's a surprise to support. We're doing a portion of the proceeds from all merchandise for Twin Brothers from Different Mothers for a charity to be named soon.
To be named. It sounds like a baseball trade.
Well, it was, and you never know what happens.
I know.
But wait till September. That's when the Red Sox fail. I won't go into that anymore. But it's exciting to start your day off with Twin Brothers from Different Mothers, coffee mugs and shirts. And there's also going to be a new shirt from Portnoy Gallery, Where in the World is Doofus?
Oh, very nice.
It's in the works now.
Very nice. Next week, last thing, and then we're going to bring up our guests. Next week's show, normally emanating right here from the beautiful Portnoy Gallery. We're on the road next week.
We are doing an on-live broadcast from a sports, hockey, and other sports memorabilia store.
I think it's called Vegas Hockey and Sports.
Okay.
I think that's what it's officially called.
Yeah. And we're going to be on from 12 till whenever. You know, we'll just keep going. We're going to bring some guests in. They're doing a large promotion for the store. We're going to have merchandise.
And we do have a guest already scheduled that will be with us.
Yeah. And the guest is?
Rick Knowles from LegalShield will be with us next week from the event. By the way, the sports store is up on Centennial Parkway and Tropical, I believe it is, where the big Home Depot store is. Yeah. There's a BJ's right there, so it's right on the corner. There's a pet store right there.
And Bark Andre Furry, the dog, will be there live.
Which you've just got done doing some work for them.
Yeah, I did their new
Excellent.
Corporate branding illustration artwork, which will be on merchandise worldwide very soon.
Very cool. All right, so that's all. Listen, a lot going on with Twin Brothers. We're all over the place, including maybe the 24th at some golf tournament at a god ugly hour of 7 a.m. But anyway, so what do you say we bring on our guests? We're going to bring one out. We're going to start with one.
Okay.
And then we'll bring the other one up later.
Because there are two of them.
There are two people. That's okay. We want to do this in stages for a reason. There's a crazy plan behind this. Now, when I look at you and the audience and I say, we do shots, what comes to mind?
Drinking, baby.
Absolutely. But would I disappoint you if I say that's not what this company's about?
No, because I don't drink.
No, neither do I. So when you think of shots, what else do you think about? What else comes to mind when you hear that word? Photographs, right? Taking shots of places. Right. What if I told you that if you wanted to have pictures done, let's say headshots.
Quickly.
On
the spot.
On the spot. You know, usually you have to call a company. They got to come up with all the equipment. You got to find space for them. You got to make, it just is a logistic nightmare. But what if I said to you that I know a company that can bring their studio to you and take everything outside your place of business and not disrupt your place of business? How would that sound?
Listen, time is money. If I get a schlep, I love that term.
SCHLEP, great Scrabble word.
Right. To go get pictures done or schedule an appointment for a photographer to come in. If I had somebody coming to me with all the equipment they needed and I could get whatever I needed because I've got a show coming up, I got a promotion I got to do a meteor kit, they do it all.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the cool thing.
What?
Maybe, just maybe, you might want to, depending on what's going on, although I know we have some friends that do this, that June 8th thing with Vinny, and we need they kind of do that too. Don't tell anybody.
I won't tell anybody.
But maybe we, whatever. So let's welcome up this time one of the owners, the director of operations and owner of We Do Shots Mobile Photography. Let's welcome Miss Lindsay Parker. Come on up, Lindsay. You're going to grab one of these chairs. Whichever's easier for you, we'll turn your mic on, and we'll get you on there. Now, she's old hat at this because I was at her event last week, or was it 10 days already? Seems like. Shots and Social, which was done up at PT's Gold on Jones and 215. Just grab the mic there. and I will turn your mic on. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
There you go. There she is, Miss Lindsay. How are you this morning?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. So thank you for getting up. I would say early, but it really isn't to get down here today.
Not too early.
No, not too bad. So welcome to the show. We appreciate it. So We Do Shots. I love the name, and marketing is all about it. I just got asked a simple question. How did you come up with the name of We Do Shots? Because I love it. I love the marketing thing.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted a name that was, a really easy talking point. And so exactly like you said, when you hear We Do Shots, it sort of triggers a couple different things. Are we talking, vodka shots, or are we talking pictures? And that's exactly what we were going for.
Gun range.
Yeah, hey, that too, right? So yeah, something that inspired conversation.
Absolutely. I love it. I think it's great. Mr. Neal?
Maybe Kyrie Irving from the Celtics could, because he.
Kyrie, by the way.
Yeah, Kyrie. That's what I said.
I thought you said Kylie. That's
no,
Jenna.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, well, we don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
But, he shot terribly in the NBA playoffs, and he was looking for shots that would go in. You do shots that are successful for people that they actually use and benefit from. Tell us a little bit more about the whole process. I mean, you've got a mobile vehicle that comes out, and I'm sure you've got it wrapped. I haven't seen the vehicle yet. But,
That's
that's
the flyer. It's right there in front of you.
Oh, there it is. Right in
So
front of
it's
me.
kind of like, so picture a FedEx truck. That's the best way we describe it. So if you can picture what a FedEx truck looks like, it's that size. Ours is actually a little bit bigger. And we've completely retrofitted the back. So it isn't, like he said, our photo studio, hardwood floors, marble countertops.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Air conditioned.
Yeah, air conditioned, and it has a completely custom roof, which is great. It makes for perfect lighting every single
So
time.
I'm doing a trade show.
Mhm.
I'm going to go do a trade show. I'm coming in from out of town. I'm going to go in a Google search and say, we got to get some headshots of our people that are going to be at the booth, maybe some shots of the booth. How do people find you?
Sure. So our website's probably the easiest way. So if you go to Google and you just typed in mobile headshots, we're the first ones that come up.
Nice.
So that way, yeah, they're able to click onto our website and they can really see what it's all about. And it's funny that you mentioned trade shows, because that's actually something we just started getting into doing as well.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
A little tricky situation down on Paradise with the Las Vegas Convention Visitors Bureau building. You really can't go in the parking lot without paying a major fee. I don't know whether there's parking around, but there are so many of the peripheral hotels and lodging facilities that are around there. Would it be advantageous for you to partner with, because Vegas is all about partnering, and I'm always coming up with these concepts, to get your word out to all of those hotels in the area to say, can we park in your lot for X amount of hours a day? And
So I'm like 2 steps ahead of you. So we do that. Yes.
Okay.
So we have actually partnered with a couple of the hotels already. We've met some of the members of management who are the decision makers on who can park, where they park, how long
Good
they
for
can
you.
park. So yeah, so we've done that. But even more than that, I think, we are a member of the Hospitality Association down here in town.
right.
And that has really made opening the doors a lot easier. Because now not only are we working with the corporate hotels, but now we're working with the event planners
Sure.
and the people who are actually booking these conventions. So they're actually reaching out to us saying, hey, we just got a contact from this business that would really love to have professional headshots.
Because
Let's
as,
get the
as
truck
you
on the
know,
trade floor.
as you know, the competition in this city is cutthroat.
Sure it is.
Just a little.
Just a
Yeah.
little bit. And everybody's a photographer
There's
in
only
this
a
city.
couple of photographers around town.
Yeah, a few, just like there are singers and
Real estate
performers.
Exactly. Yes.
And the one troubling thing for performers and singers and bands is there's not enough venues. The difference with what you do, there are plenty of venues that could utilize what you bring to the table.
Yes.
Sounds like, and kudos to you, you've reached out and made connections with the partnering aspect of it to get these people to at least be aware of what you have to offer.
Yeah, I mean, we bring something. Not only is the truck itself unique, but it's also it's a very fun experience. There's music playing in the truck, and it sort of takes somebody into this separate space. So you're at a convention, you've been there for hours and hours, and now it's time to get a headshot. So a lot of times, it's kind of like an assembly line where it's just set up, take a
Sure.
picture, get out. This is an experience.
I hate to bring it up because you're probably 3 steps ahead of me on this one, but
No.
did you ever think of taking the mobile vehicle and driving down Las Vegas Boulevard, or just driving through the parking lot of the convention center, not the park, because there are so many people walking around that will take a piece of paper out or take their phone out and text, hey, I just saw this thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great idea.
No, it's a great idea. And it's really funny, too, because we, more than once, we'll be driving the truck to one photo shoot, and I'll get a phone call, and it'll be, hey, we just passed you, wanted to ask a little bit more information. And so, I mean, I think our name helps us the most because people can remember that. It's a very easy to remember name, but also it's very easy to search. We're all over social media, like I said, our website. So if somebody sees us driving, it's super easy to look it up to confirm, is that actually a studio? Yes, it is.
Yeah, I want to go back a little bit, but before I do that, we have someone from Michigan who's actually in the chat room right now watching. You could see it on my phone, right?
Yes, yeah.
So very, very special happy Mother's Day to Joyce Parker.
Yes.
She is. So we've all become part of the Michiganers because we're officially in Michigan now. Neil being watched as we speak.
There's actually 2 people from Michigan watching right now.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Excellent.
Ed Foster's watching, one of Las Vegas' premier photographers. Ed Foster has got history like you read about. I don't know if you know Ed.
Oh, no, but
I'd love you should meet Ed.
Yeah.
Ed, pop in if you're in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Ed has photographed everyone in this town.
That's awesome.
Brilliant.
Hasn't photographed me yet.
Everyone. Everyone.
Almost everyone.
I'm a Hall of Famer. I deserve to be photographed.
Well, there you go, Ed. Aaron's put it out there.
I want to just go back a little bit because you guys, to find this kind of niche in Las Vegas, because it's hard to find certain niches in this town when you've got so many people and ideas and things. You're only here about 3 years, right? From Michigan. So how quickly did this come up to you? How easy was it for you to find this kind of niche to be the only one that does what you do with the mobile photography?
Yeah, so I mean, the idea for this company really started, I'm trying to think. So we officially launched in January, but I think that the idea sort of came to us in June. And it was just, I think I told you the story, but I was just at work one day and I did exactly what you described. I hired a photographer, and little did I know I was going to become his personal assistant that day. We lost our entire conference room. It was a whole thing, just like you said. And so basically I came home and I talked to, John, who is been a photographer for years and years, but he's actually trained in graphic design.
John who?
John Parker.
John Parker.
Who you guys will get to see soon.
Is he related to Peter Parker?
You know what?
Are you related to Peter Parker?
Are you?
You might be.
Yes, Spider-Man is his favorite character.
Too much alliteration going on at this table.
Yeah.
But if he could pick some pickled peppers as Peter Parker, that's a whole different story.
Yeah. Just
Don't
a
ask
little
me
bit
to
of
say that.
a little bit of a tongue twister.
Yes.
Wow.
Sorry, go ahead. We digress.
Yeah, but no. So basically I came home, from work after that experience, and I was just so frustrated about it. And so I shared with him, I'm like, there has got to be an easier way. So I literally say out loud, I don't understand why somebody can't roll up to my office, take the pictures, and get the hell out.
There you go.
And we laughed about it. And so I started doing research, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I just didn't look hard enough. Like, that's what I should have used. So I started doing research, and I come to find out there is nothing like this that I could use.
What's your background?
Communications.
Okay.
Marketing
I was going to say that I'm hearing all of this marketing degree stuff being thrown out.
University of Michigan. Yes.
Go Wolverines.
Go Wolverines.
Maize and blue, baby.
A Big Ten competitor of mine.
Yeah. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, I went to the U, so I was down south in warm weather while you were freezing your tootsies off up in those cold parts of our wonderful
Very
country.
cold.
Ed Foster replied to your comment. By the way.
What is it? I'm flattered that my name came up on your show. Why wouldn't it come up?
Yeah.
It's Ed Foster, people. Check him out on Facebook. The man is brilliant.
Now, wait a minute. Let's not promote another photographer while we got a photographer on the show now. Come on.
Again, very different. And that's why what
different.
she's doing and John is doing is very, very unique.
Very true.
And you could probably learn from Ed.
And
he might
we
be able to
partner.
help you. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, no, we love to partner with different photographers just because, everybody does different things. We really specialize in the professional headshots. We also do product photography. But for us, those are really our 2 niches. So you have people who do amazing wedding photography, even different types of portraits, boudoir, all of that. That's not really what we specialize in. So we love to partner with different photographers.
There you go, Ed. Let's make the connection.
Absolutely. Let's do a quick reset. You're watching Twin Brothers from Different Mothers, coming to you live from Portnoy Gallery right here in downtown, beautiful heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. And on our show today is Lindsay Parker, and we'll invite John up here in a second. John Parker, who is the lead photographer and owner of We Do Shots. Mobile photography, the only one in the Las Vegas area that can come to your office, your event, your location with a studio on wheels and not disrupt your entire operation. So that's who you're watching, and that is on with us today. So why don't, since we're talking about the picture taking, you want to bring John? Let's bring John up at this point for a few minutes.
Sure.
Because he's been taking pictures of us.
Listen, he's got the greatest 90210 sideburns I've seen in years.
All right. So at this point, let's bring John up here. Come on up, John. We got a seat for you. I'll turn your mic on when you get settled. So this way your mom also knows that you're here. And you could say hi to mom if you want to give a shout out.
Check out the
to mom.
sideburns. Really, John, turn to the side so they can see them. Look at
There
those
you go.
things, huh?
Geez, that's more hair on his sideburns than I used to have on my head about a year ago.
You and I
Holy cow.
combined.
Exactly.
Thanks. Appreciate the compliment.
Jeez. John Parker, the man behind the camera. So real quickly, just talk about your love of photography. What is it that draws you into that type of thing? I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. It's always been a love and a passion of mine. I always loved to see people's reactions once they got their photos back and presenting the best version of themselves.
I like that. What you just said right there is incredible because it does allow you, or as the subject, to be in a position with some guidance from the photographer to present the best foot forward. And I think that's what everybody wants in a picture, unless it's a fun picture. But for the most part, I mean, people don't know how to do that.
I always use, when I do somebody's caricature, I always give them my disclaimer, which is management not responsible for the way you already look.
That's right.
I
like
love
that.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Love that.
It kind of covers you right off the bat. And I've always said a photograph doesn't lie, but an artist can interpret.
Sure.
There's so much software out there now in both our industries, because you're a graphic designer by trade, right?
Yeah.
That you can take through Illustrator and Photoshop and Quark Express and all the other stuff that's coming on the market, because I'm old. I don't know everything out there. That you can tweak photos to make it very artistic nowadays. Correct?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. There's crazy amounts of photo
So
manipulation. that
how
can
did
be
you
done.
get you get into this? I know Aaron just kind of touched base on that. You've always had a passion and a love. The two of you work hand in hand, and each one of you play to your own strengths and avoid your weaknesses. Probably being together too much because I know the situation. but you one will bounce an idea off someone else and say, okay, what's your opinion? This is your expertise. Give me your opinion. Let me do what I do best, and we'll mark it and put it out there. Yeah, that's why I point to that. That's what she does, and I picked up on that right away. So it's something. Where do you want to go with this? I mean, listen, you keep growing. You've been in business a very short period of time, and myself, I've been here for 3 years, and people will constantly come up to me and go, how the hell do you know everybody? And you know what I say to them all the time? That's not important. What's important is everybody knows me.
Sure.
Think about
Absolutely.
that. So, I mean, it's wonderful to know a lot of people, but what's important is to keep planting those seeds so people are aware of who you are, what you offer, and most importantly, how they can benefit from what you give them.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that John did that, it's funny because I don't think I give him enough credit for it, is when we were talking about, the initial design of the truck and what we wanted to look like and how we wanted to function. I mean, I have all of these ideas, but he's the one who actually had to create it and put it to action and figure out, what pieces of equipment are going to work, what ones are not going to work, what does the truck need to look like from a logistics standpoint, so we can, park certain places. So that was all him. So I think mass, kudos and credit to you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
By the way, your mom replied back. She is humbled by the shout out we gave her.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
so you don't even have to get a Mother's Day gift now. We shouted
I
out
know,
there.
yeah.
She's been
She's
heard
the best.
internationally.
Yeah, but how come
Yeah,
Joyce?
shout out to my mom.
How
She's
come
the best.
Joyce?
Happy Mother's Day.
Joyce does not have a headshot.
She has no profile picture.
No profile picture. Hello.
She's really new to Facebook.
Okay.
So we give her a little bit of a pass.
The
for
fact that she found us being relatively new, I'm
Yes.
excited about.
Kudos.
that.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So I'm going to share this with you guys. We currently right now are being watched. I believe she's in Hawaii right now. April Enriquez, who I met at the Cauliflower Alley Club reunion a couple of weeks ago, the wrestling thing.
Sure.
She was one of the original lady champions in the original Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling back in the 80s.
Gorgeous ladies of
Yeah,
wrestling.
yeah.
Is that an oxymoron?
No.
Have you seen some of these ladies?
No, I haven't.
They're
That's why I'm asking.
beautiful.
So
Yes.
April and I had a great time together. We had a lot in common, and it was great conversation. She just issued a watch party on her end with a bunch of her friends. So a lot of people are watching right now in Hawaii. Thank you, April, for
Yeah,
sharing
thank
us
you.
with your friends. We appreciate that. Now, if somebody wants your services out in Hawaii, would you go out there? The truck doesn't float. I get that.
Yeah,
Not yet,
it
unfortunately.
doesn't float. Well, here's what I can say. So, definitely stay tuned.
Oh.
But we do have some pretty big plans. So hopefully there will be We Do shots wherever you are.
Hey, Lisa Gay just joined us. Lisa Gay, a brilliant songstress.
Oh, there's somebody else from Michigan on here too.
Yeah, Lisa just joined us.
John Parker, senior, I guess, would be the proper phrase. Would that be right?
John's the third.
yeah, my
You're the
actually.
third?
He's
My,
the third,
my
yeah.
dad's actually number 2.
Okay, see,
Number 3.
so Mr. Parker the second, we didn't mean to forget about you, but thank you for letting us know. Your day will come up in June.
He's got a headshot.
He
Right.
does.
Yes, he does.
Who
He
took
does.
that picture? Let me see if I don't want to disrupt the
Joyce, let's get with it. Need a headshot.
Right.
So, but anyway, see what's really cool about this, guys. This is why I love. We have an opportunity to present you to a huge platform of people, and
absolutely.
they're gonna.
Yeah.
This is why I get goosebumps. Let's go back. I want to go back to John and actual photography for a second,
Yeah.
because you see things behind the camera that we would not see if you were taking a picture and Neil or
Sure.
I would be standing behind you looking at your subject.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not going to see the same thing.
We
you
don't.
do.
We don't see the same thing.
What do you see in your viewfinder that people, I would just call it your lens,
Yeah.
that people do that you say to yourself, boy, I wish they wouldn't do that. I'd like to tell them to do this or don't do that. Well, give me a
Totally.
couple of things.
So one of the worst things you can do is not dressing in a way that really represents yourself.
Okay.
It's super obvious to me anyways, from a mile away. If you're not the suit and tie kind of a person, you're going to be sitting there, you're going to look super stiff, rigid, because first
Yeah,
of all,
you
you
know,
don't wear
You're
a suit and tie every day.
uncomfortable.
You're going to
That's me.
physically be uncomfortable.
I'm not a suit and tie person.
Exactly. So you're going to be
I just-
sitting there.
I just
super
get
rigid
invited
and
to
really
a,
uncomfortable.
a black tie event, and he looked at me like, it's a black tie event. What does that mean? Ted Williams didn't wear ties,
That was Ted Williams. You're not a 400 hitter. Sorry.
Sure.
You're good at
But,
what you
yeah.
do, but
No,
you're
I
not a
never
400
put it.
hitter.
I never put it in that realm of perspectiveness.
But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead. Keep going. He has a tendency to throw those
Oh, it's all good.
wild,
Yeah.
crazy things in there.
No problem. But yeah, that's going to be first and foremost, in my opinion, one of the things. Just dress how you want to
Okay, so
represent
dress for
yourself
how you
and your
want-
brand. It's going
okay.
to be very obvious, like I said, to me anyways.
Okay.
When I'm looking through that lens, you're not comfortable with what you're wearing. It's
Okay.
not you. It's not the representation.
So a professional individual like an attorney, we'll use that as an example.
Yeah,
Obviously,
absolutely.
you would expect to see them in a shirt and tie and a suit or business dress for the ladies.
Absolutely.
But what if they're like a dress down type of entity where, here in the summertime, you don't see a whole lot of guys always wearing the suit and tie because it's too hot,
Sure.
but you see them in
Exactly.
polo shirts and a
Yeah,
nice pair of
absolutely.
slacks. Is that just as acceptable for that kind of industry?
100%.
Yeah,
I couldn't
it's going
agree
to be
more.
for their business.
Right.
Okay.
It's funny because we literally just had the owner of Fat Tuesday
Okay.
in our truck that we did some headshots for, and he's a real, laid back kind of guy.
Right.
Super
Exactly.
professional, brilliant man, but he was not a suit and tie type guy, but he brought one.
Okay.
He brought a suit and tie, and he
Right.
was like, so do I have to put this on? I'm like, you
Right.
don't. I'm like, it's your company. You need to represent you. And like John said, you need to feel good about it. And if you're wearing a suit and tie and you're super uncomfortable, like he sees that
Exactly. Like
And
his
it's like,
best photo was not
we can
in
only
that
coach
suit and tie. It
Gotcha.
was super
so
obvious.
much,
Gotcha.
So yeah.
So for him, how he wanted to represent himself and his brand was a shirt with a sports coat. over
Okay.
it. And his photos turned out great.
Makes
So
sense.
that's him, his personality.
So two guys on the
Look great.
radio should not be in a suit and tie necessarily.
No,
I mean, I don't
maybe
mind it because I'll do some other events where I'm behind
Sure.
them, up on stage. But
Yeah.
two guys who were representing something like this, you wouldn't expect to be all suited up and stiff. We'd want
Right.
to be more relaxed in a photo shoot.
Joe, let me ask you a question. I know in my industry, in my business, I do a piece of artwork, it gets reproduced. It's like, okay, we're talking licensing. Do you get involved in any of that? When you take a photo, when you
Yeah.
give somebody a fee, I'm sure you have different price structures for what they're going to do with it. If they're putting it out and making $3.2 million on something you charge them $100 for, are you comfortable with that? How do you address that?
So maybe a better question for Lindsay. But once we take the photo and edit it and send it off, it's theirs.
Yeah. So everybody that we do take the pictures for, they own the pictures.
Okay.
So if they are somebody who plans to use these for publication purposes, marketing collateral, we go ahead and we can actually sign a print release for them. So that way they
in
do.
my
own it.
industry, it's called the work for hire. There are
Mm.
two different terms. One's called the work for hire, which means they're paying you to do it, do the job, they own it. The other thing is, the C-circled copyright, 2019,
Mhm.
there are licensing fees that could in the future enter in if it's not in contractual agreement written form that says it's a work for hire piece. Something
So
to
there's
consider.
another aspect to it. So that's just what they get from us. But what we get from them is they actually sign a model release, which is giving us permission to use the photo however we see fit.
Perfect.
So we cover ourselves on that end. So let's just say, we meet somebody, we take their headshots, and like you said, they use it for marketing pieces, turns out to be worth millions. We actually have the right to use that photo. So, and they sign that from day one. So we do protect ourselves in that regard. But yeah, I mean, hey, love to have that happen.
All right, here's
so-
another
Yeah,
interesting.
you're right. Yeah, exactly.
You
Another
can't
interesting-
have it if you don't put it out there.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Another
True.
interesting twist in question. You're two people.
Mhm.
How many work with the company?
Good question.
Two people, right? Essentially, two people, right? As you grow and as you start partnering
They already
with,
have staff,
well, I'm talking like with Ed Foster, master photographer.
right?
Mhm.
You know, you can learn from this guy, you know, and he can learn from you. You're going to have a stable of people that you're very comfortable working with in different aspects of where you want to go with the business. That's where the partnering really starts to come to the forefront. You know, let's say, for instance, you've got 7 jobs on one day. Well, you can't get the van, 2:00 and the other one's at 2:05. I can't get there. But you can mobilize it or maximize your profit margin by bringing other people on that could utilize and bring their clients to your van.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
So 2 things. So
Sure.
number 1 is that, like you said, establishing partnerships is probably the most important thing that we could do. I like to give myself a little credit in that I think we've made tremendous strides in that regard. We are actually an approved vendor for Cashman Photography,
Nice.
which is the largest photography broker, I think, in the country, but definitely here. And they have a tremendous amount of amazing professional photographers that, should we need to tap into those resources, we can. And also vice versa for us, they are able to use us. Which is great. Now, you talk about having people come to events. That is exactly what we love to do. Anytime that we're having an event or a sponsor, we blast it all over social media so people know, so that way they can come to us. Because even though we are mobile and we can come to them, sometimes it's more convenient that day at that time.
I don't know why this just popped in my head, but I thought of the mother hen and all the little chickadees that, wouldn't it be something if you've got this big FedEx truck with your wrap all around it, and you have 6 smart cars with the logo on the smart cars that come out from or distribute from the mother hen to do the other type of jobs. Think about it. You know what? It's an interest. Why are you looking at me?
Oh, not me.
Yeah.
No. Don't read anything
No,
into
no.
it. Not me.
We love the creativity. No, I think that, I mean, like I said, our sort of niche is using the truck. And so we want to
Initially, yes.
Yes.
But you got to grow. And
Well,
you
that
can't
means
grow.
multiple trucks,
Oh, so
not
you-
little cars.
I like the little cars.
No,
Oh.
no, we want
That
the
would only be for
trucks.
short people. Anyway,
Yeah,
Sure.
see, there you go.
Sam Peters, obviously you guys did something with him not too long ago. He's put out there in the chat room how happy he was with the work you did with him.
Yeah, we went to
CJ
his
Thompson,
office.
our good
Yeah.
friend as well, is out there watching. Thank you for checking in. CJ, Ivy, your sister's out there
And
watching.
she's out there watching, yeah.
And she's out in Massachusetts still, right?
So we're all over the country.
So guys, we're
Really, yeah.
literally coast to coast. I saw somebody earlier
We
in
have
here.
Wisconsin in here.
Wisconsin. So guys, we're international today with
Florida.
Puerto Rico checking in early. So I know you want to get back behind the camera, but let me ask you this one last question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So we've got the hint of dressing for your role, basically, is what
Yeah,
you suggested.
yeah.
Okay. Give me one other thing. How do you handle, like, my wife and I, we're like, I'm up here, she's down here. How do you get balance in pictures like that?
I mean,
What's
the
your
stools
recommendation?
are adjustable.
Well, that's-
Well said.
Love
Yeah.
it. Love it.
Right,
The
right.
corporate ladder will still work.
Eileen, you're not going to be short for long.
No.
No.
No, but seriously, I mean, are there situations you just look at and say, I'm just not going to be able to get the kind of picture that you as a photographer would be satisfied with to pass on to the customer? How do you deal with that?
So at the end of the day, it's all about making the client happy. If
Right.
you're happy with the photos, I'm happy with the photos.
Okay.
One of the biggest positive parts about the truck is you can see the photos in real time. So
Oh,
after I snap
perfect.
the photo, there's a screen displaying what it looks like, and we can go over it, what you liked, what you didn't like. If we
Do you
could
print?
adjust
Do you
anything.
print on demand? I mean, is that something?
No, we
No.
don't. It's all digital.
Yeah, it's all
It's
digital.
all digital,
Yeah.
so you can send them the file.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
important.
Yeah,
And they
absolutely.
can see the digital proof
Sure.
in real time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think, like you said, for height difference, I mean,
Mhm.
there's really 2 things that we do. So we obviously, like John made the joke of, but it's true, the stools,
Right.
which does help. We have the shorter person stand, the taller person sit.
Right.
The nice part about the truck, and you guys just have to see it so you can envision how large it actually is. But there is space that we are actually able to maneuver the backdrops.
Mhm.
So that way we can get people standing together or whatever we need to do to make them.
Yeah,
What
oh,
the
yeah,
hell
let's-
does
let's
it
plan it.
cost you to insure that thing?
Well, they have a good
Um,
they have a good insurance
you know
agent,
what, I
Sam
really-
Peters.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
Because it's a commercial vehicle.
It
You've
is.
got
Right.
liability
Yeah.
issues when people are coming into your van.
I don't think I don't know if it's really worth putting out the actual dollars,
Yeah,
but
I'm
I
not
got
going
the
to tell
sense.
you the actual
but I
dollar
got the
amount,
sense it's
but,
not cheap.
It's not cheap.
No,
Yes.
it's not.
Right. So you
All
gotta
right.
stay
But that's with
busy.
any business. I
Of
mean,
course.
with any
Yeah,
business,
exactly.
you need to protect yourself.
So
Right.
let me do this. Let me release John so we get back behind the camera. So because I know he's probably a little more comfortable back there. He's a behind the scenes kind of guy.
Right.
But I have seen his work because I met these guys at the Miss Fabulous Las Vegas Mixer that they did a couple of months ago.
Right.
And they were down there taking pictures. And they don't just, yes, their truck was there, but they do event pictures, a backdrop, like a red carpet thing you were talking about here
Sure.
for the 8th. So they can do those kind of things. Very meticulous. And talking with Lindsay while John was busy working behind the camera, I just love the aura and the sense of business that you have in understanding where the vision is and how quickly, being relatively new to Vegas, you found this kind of niche being valuable to the city.
One thing that we have not mentioned,
Yes.
because we're so entwined into learning, how do people reach you? Is there a contact number? Is there a website they can reach out to you? Why don't you give us that information?
Sure. So definitely our website's the easiest way. So that way you can see a little bit more about what we're about, see pictures of the truck. So it's just wedoshots.com. And then all of our social media is the same thing. So Facebook at We Do Shots, Instagram at We Do Shots, and LinkedIn at We Do Shots.
Right
So
on.
you can reach us all avenues. But I think the website is the best. We do have a phone number. But again, we do highly encourage everybody to go onto the website. But the phone number is 702-727-1195.
Right on.
And if you put letters in front of it, it says "We Do Shot." No, I'm kidding.
All right, John, you're dismissed. You can go back to your camera if you'd like. And,
Awesome.
All right, we'll release you.
I appreciate it. Thank
Good
you. guys.
job. You
Thanks,
did
John.
okay.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Bye, Mom and Dad.
Bye,
He's
Mom
still
and
here,
Dad.
but no more in front
Yeah,
of the camera.
exactly.
So
And
good job.
Uncle in Florida.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Uncle in Florida jumped in.
Yep. Yeah.
So this is like a whole family reunion for the Parkers.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We got
going
we
well.
got Florida, we got Michigan, now we got a whole family
Yeah, no,
reunion
it's
going
great.
on.
They're super supportive. We appreciate
I'm
it.
looking for a joke or something.
No joke.
I can't find one. I
Just
can't,
don't.
I just did nothing there.
You're good to go.
All right.
Thank
Awesome.
All right,
Thanks,
good
guys.
job. All right. So there you go. That's the lead photographer and business partner and owner with Lindsay behind We Do Shots. I learned a long time ago, Lindsay, one of the former shows I used to do on the internet was Vegas Unwrapped, and my partner and I at the time, we came across an organization that was called Lights for Love. Elder gentleman suffered from COPD, and he lived in an apartment complex. And if you know the apartment complexes in this town, it's like a maze to find a particular unit. So if God forbid an emergency, one time he watched from his window an ambulance trying to get to his place, and they couldn't find it.
Oh, no.
Simplistic idea. Put a red light bulb into your porch light, and hey, come find the red light. That's where I am. The simplicity of that was just utterly ridiculous. And that's what I love about this concept. The concept is so easily understood and the concept so simple. Quite frankly, and I don't want anybody to do this, I'm surprised it hasn't been done before, especially in this town. I'm glad it's happening to you guys to find that niche and take wild success of it. But the concept is so simple.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how a lot of, great businesses start. There's definitely a way that things have been done, but somebody sees an opportunity to do it better. And that's really what, we set out to do. And the funny part too is, there is a lot that we do behind the scenes that you don't see. You guys see the truck and you just see it's pretty. You see that it functions.
It's
But
really
there was a
pretty
tremendous
inside.
amount of, work and research that went into figuring out exactly, what sort of equipment, like I said, is needed and how do we make it function. And I mean, yeah, just the logistics of even getting the truck.
Yeah, you're not just slapping a camera in there.
No,
and
it's
that's
not
it.
something that just anybody can say, oh, I'm going to buy a truck and do this. It's a tremendous amount of work that went into this, but the idea
Yes.
is very simple and easy to follow. And I think that's why it's, been an idea that's really taken off because it's like, wow, I got it. I get it. I understand it.
I'm looking at the inside of the truck here in your little, 3.
Yeah, I'm a little handout.
It's pretty impressive. I mean, it really looks like my living room.
The studio, right?
It's you would never know you were inside a truck looking at the
Yeah,
pictures.
and that's what we were going for.
Is the truck handicapped accessible?
That's a great question. Technically speaking, it is. It is wide enough. It could fit a wheelchair within it, but we don't carry a ramp with us at all times.
Gotcha.
So we would need to know if somebody is, on wheelchair, that they require a wheelchair. We
Okay.
would have to know that.
And you,
ahead of
and you
time.
could accommodate that situation if it
Yeah,
authorized.
yeah, we could accommodate it.
Right. Now, and the reason I asked that particularly because an organization that I am involved with is called Miss Wheelchair Nevada. It's a pageant system here in town that obviously focuses on the ladies who are Wheelchair bound.
bound. These tongue twisters you like.
Peter Parker. You did better with the other one.
I did better with all the P's in it.
Yeah.
But so I mean, that's what came to mind was the handicap accessibility. So you do need to know that obviously in advance, which makes total sense.
Yeah.
Makes total
And those
sense.
are the type of questions I ask when we're booking the appointment, just trying to make sure that, you know, we can accommodate and we're ready to go.
Now we as a society, which is one of the reasons why we do Facebook Live, are visual people. Okay. The days of just listening to radio without that visual of the person behind the mic or the guest, what they look like, we are visual people now. So people try to get ahead. And so one of the areas we always talk about is headshots for their business card, whatever it is. Okay. So my question to you is very simply this: how did and why are headshots so important in today's communication ability to other people?
Sure. So, I mean, I think, like you said, I mean, we live in 2019 where people have all of these resources at their fingertips. They're going to research you. They're going to look you up. They're going to vet you.
Mhm.
And a lot of times, you know, it really does come down to something as simple as having a professional picture. I mean, I don't hire anybody without doing a little bit of research, trying to figure it out. And if you don't have a picture, or the picture you have is just really thrown together, now that makes me think that's how your work is. And, you know, again, money is something that I value. And so I'm not just going to hire anybody. So I think that, you know, like I said, a headshot is a really minimal investment to have such a large return.
Sure.
So yeah,
And you own the photograph.
that too, right? And the thing is that I wanted to mention is, so with us, you don't just get one photograph. With all of our packages, you're going to get multiple. So we have, you know, our standard package and our premium. In the standard package, you get 5 to 6 edited pictures. They're all yours and you can use them however you want. And we purposefully mix it up so that they don't look the same. We'll switch out your pose. We'll change out the background, whatever we can do so that you have 6 really unique pictures that you can use however you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other package that we have, a premium one, you get about 8 to 10. So it's quite a big variety, and you know, you can see the prices in there, very affordable.
So the prices you have in the pamphlet,
I do,
and,
yeah.
and they're also, I'm sure, on your website.
Yeah, we pride
Okay.
ourselves on being transparent. There's no
Okay.
guesswork.
Do you want to share what they are?
Yeah,
here on
sure.
there? Go ahead.
So our standard package, like I said, you're going to get the 5 to 6 edited pictures. It is one outfit, multiple poses. That's $150, and that includes us coming to you. It's crazy, right? I know. And then the premium package is 2 outfits, multiple poses. You're going to get about 8 pictures that way. And that one's $200.
Wow.
I know.
So how many pictures do you generally take in a session like that for either package? How many shots you actually take, or do you just take the package number and hope that
No, there's not a set number. I mean, you'll have some clients that are very, very photogenic.
Okay.
And so every time, you know, John takes the click, like they do something a little different, smile less, smile more, open their eyes. We're going to get through a lot more pictures with
Okay.
them. Those clients that we really need to coach through the experience, we might not get as many, but we're focusing more on them. So they're like,
Gotcha.
yeah.
And cheaper than Botox, because you can take some
Hey.
stuff out, right?
Oh yeah, we can
Lines
do
and-
some skin
Yeah.
softening, teeth
Well, listen,
whitening.
Photoshop is a great tool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for
So-
sure.
So
And
really,
John's background as a graphic designer really
Okay.
helps with that too. So, you know, we take the pictures, they're great just because the way the studio was set up, but then behind the scenes part is the editing that takes place.
Right. so you could literally take 100 pictures of somebody theoretically in a shoot and then narrow it down to the 5 shots or the 8 to 10,
Yes.
depending. So that's not uncommon to take that many shots.
No, not at all.
on
Not at
average.
all.
Okay.
I mean, with our standard package, John's taking somewhere between 30 to 40 pictures. We'll pick
Gotcha.
5.
And again, our guest today is
We do shots. Lindsay Parker, John Parker, the first and only mobile photography studio here in Las Vegas. They come
Yes.
to you, and you do not have to disrupt your entire workday to have photography done in your office. They
And-
bring their studio to you.
And very simply, they're wedoshots.com,
Yep.
wedoshots.com, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's all you
I
really
find
need.
you find them.
Twin brothers from different mothers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything.
I
We're,
mean,
they're out
you
there.
know, and John has been taking shots, so we'll be able to sample some of those shots as well up on
Yeah.
the site. It's funny, as I'm sitting here, and you and I now are into 7 months of doing this,
Right,
and we're rebranding and repackaging some things for businesses and stuff.
correct.
You know, Karnak the Great taught me a lot of things. That's
Oh,
a Johnny
Johnny
Carson, thing
Carson,
for those
yeah.
of you who are wondering. That was before you. Do you know who Johnny Carson is,
No,
or
she
did I
was-
just date myself?
She wasn't born yet.
Oh gosh.
No.
Anyway, I think and see the potential of a twin brothers like photo shoot on the horizon.
Oh, we gotta get. Yeah,
If you ask me, I
yeah.
mean,
Who
you know.
took the one we're using? Did we take it?
Which one? Which picture you
I
talking
don't
about?
know. We got a
The one of
few.
you and I.
Yeah.
Like in the, oh,
Well,
you and I
who
did
else
that
would
up
I be
front.
talking about?
You and I were sitting up front on the very first day where we just basically snapped a selfie shot where I'm kind of sneaking in behind your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. We took that sitting up front on
Well,
the first day we did.
Listen,
a show.
we use the caricatures, which I did
Right.
as our backdrop, and you know, I love the term that he came up with, just two guys who kind of look alike, and you know, part of our promo package. But there has been instances where his wife has walked into a room that we're both in, and she'll come over to me thinking it's him.
Oh, that's
Or
funny.
I've been out to dinner with my wife and
Yeah.
they know Neil and his wife, and they won't come to my table
Because they
to
think
say
I'm
hi
with a
because
different
they
woman.
think Neil is with a different woman.
Oh
It's
no!
just- no, it's just-
It hap- I mean,
So-
just as happened a couple of weeks ago as well. My wife unfortunately got into a little fender bender, and these guys live. It was right around the corner from them, and they were kind enough because it was on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So I gave Neil a heads up we may have an issue, and he and Dorothy went and stayed with my wife while I went back to my house with my dad to drop off a car. So I get back there, and now I could see this look of terror in the other person's face who stayed with my wife, who was in the accident with her. And the story that I got is that the lady turned when Neil pulled up with his wife, and she turned back to my wife and said, "Your husband is here with another woman."
No.
Oh yeah,
And
all the time.
he gets out of the car,
That's so
and
funny.
Eileen, my wife, mumbled something, you said something getting out, and my wife turned to the other lady and said, "What did he say?" She didn't hear my wife. She just turned back and said, "I think your husband's here with another woman." It is so fun. That's why we named the show what we did, because we play off of it. It's a lot of fun for
It
us.
is.
Yeah,
It is
no, I
fun.
love that.
So
It is fun.
so the simplicity of that, but I think we should do a true legitimate photo shoot.
Yeah, between the two of us, we've been married 4 times.
That's I got one.
Yeah,
You can
right.
claim the
Well,
rest. Mine's for over 30 years. Maybe how many years total have you been married?
10, 5, and 11.
Okay,
Do the
so
math.
it's 26 years.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have 11 fingers.
I know you do.
You,
I know
you
you
ever
do.
see my 11 finger jokes?
No.
I do a little motivation.
Hold on to your seats, everybody.
I
For
was gonna
this
say, I'm
one.
a little afraid.
And I love talking with kids. So I'm in a classroom with the kids during reading week, where his wife is a assistant principal. And I said to the kids, I've got 11 fingers. And of course, all the kids are like, no, you don't. No, you don't. I said, look, I'll explain it to you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5's 11. Do the math. And you can see all the kids going to their hands trying to count. It was hysterical.
All right, I'll get us back on track. I have a question actually in the chat room from my friend April. She wants to know that have you ever thought to bringing your service into the LA area?
We'd love to.
Well, not us, not you and I.
Oh,
We do shots. I mean, we can go too. That's fine.
yeah, I want to go.
But I mean, have you ever? I mean,
Yeah,
are there expansion plans for you guys down the line outside of Las Vegas to do something
definitely.
like franchising or?
Absolutely, there is.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
There you go. So April,
no, we're
keep your eyes
excited.
open out there.
Yeah, I mean, and the nice part about us being on wheels is just depending on what they need and
So you
over the
could
course
travel
of
to
time.
LA.
I mean, really, we could anytime.
So if someone from LA calls you and says, "Hey, we have an event," you could literally drive that. Won't get
Sure, we
great gas mileage, but
Well,
you could go out there for it.
Why wouldn't they offer one of the packages is we will travel, anywhere from 6 hours central to Las Vegas in any direction, and you just tack on the fees for travel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
why
it's definitely
not?
something we can do. We've been approached from a couple people in Utah, in Arizona. Again, really similar, but I mean, hey, we're on wheels. So.
April. So yes, if you have something going on in LA that you might want to have these guys come out to, by all means.
Yeah, what is that, like a 4-hour drive? I mean,
On
super.
a good day.
Yeah.
A real good
True.
day.
I
We've
want to.
been lucky it's been 4 hours.
I want to ask you a question on the notes that we had taken
Oh, sure.
because John kind of started down this route about some of the things about tips and things for the headshots, but
Yeah.
there's something in the list here that I find interesting and I would like you to expand on it.
Sure.
Plan your headshots in the early part of the day.
Yes.
Let's talk about why that's important.
Sure. So I think as we can all relate, how shall I say this politically correct? Stuff tends to hit the fan the further into the day as you go. So what'll happen is if you schedule your headshot first thing in the morning, it's like you can take your headshot, if you're a woman, maybe your hair, your makeup, it's still cooperating. If you're a guy, it could be just before you go into those meetings, before you hear the news, before someone updates you on anything that's happening, you've already had your headshot.
Right.
So you're in the best possible, attitude, mindset that you can be, get your headshot taken, and then go to the rest of your day. We find that if you schedule your headshot for the end of the day or in the afternoon, stuff comes up.
Good point.
Stuff happens, and that makes it, a little challenging for everybody.
Besides
So
that, shit happens.
that's,
Right.
that's what I was going to say. I
This
said
is-
stuff happens.
But
Yeah.
this is internet. You can say what you want.
Yeah.
All right. One last thing that I want to ask. Now we know about the services and the pictures and stuff, but what's your mission? for We Do Shots? I mean, yeah, great pictures and all that, but I know you have to have more of a mission picture.
I mean, our mission is to just, make headshots fun and affordable for everybody. I think that right now, those two characteristics are not common. Getting a headshot is typically not fun. It's not a good time. It's somewhat stressful for those. I mean, I say public speaking, getting eaten by a shark, getting your picture taken, or like the three things people don't like to do.
Well, at least in Vegas, you don't have to worry about getting eaten by a shark.
Hey,
So
I'm
that's
just
good.
saying that's on
Well,
the
that's
list,
good. I
right?
like that.
And so for us, it's like we eliminate that fear. You're not just, in this conference room with all of your coworkers right there. It's like, it's so much more of a fun experience. And so that, and then making it affordable.
Have you reached out to the high schools in town here? Because everybody looks for senior pictures.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people doing it.
Absolutely.
I know there are people
There are
doing it.
photography studios in town that offers that and graduation pictures.
Right,
Yes,
but if you
there
could
are.
offer something a little bit more affordable and actually go to them, because look, the moms and the dads are going to go, no, you got to smile, fix your
Right.
teeth, you're able to do that right there where they can see the final product picture, and that's their senior picture.
There's no guesswork. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that we have looked into. It is a little bit more complicated than that. You do need to make sure you have the exact colors that the schools
Right.
require of the background. And then also it would be something to where we could certainly go to the individuals, but the schools have contracts and everything,
Sure.
with certain photography providers. But we'd love to do that. And if it's just, you're looking for that one picture of them in their cap and gown, that's absolutely something we could do.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We're look at the time there, Mr.
I know.
Phillips.
I'm looking at the time. We're like down to the last minute or two. By the way, you have a fan in April, my wrestling friend, because she said in here, she says, great idea, great service, and it could be used a lot down in LA. And she had something going on where she wished she knew about you a few days ago.
Yeah.
So I put in there, keep in mind for the next time and anyone else. And I think in April, you've got a big source of potential business out there in Cali, because like I said, April's great. She knows a lot of people, and in the industry she's in, they do a lot of shoots and stuff, which
Yeah,
is in the
that'd be
wrestling
amazing.
industry. So yeah, April, by all means, reach out to them. WeDoShots.com is the website. Any incentive if they mention Twin Brothers watching this, saying, hey, we saw you on Twin Brothers, that maybe you can offer to our listening audience?
Sure. So we would love to extend an offer. It'd be our standard package, which was that 5 to 6 pictures I talked about. One outfit, we'll do it for $99.
Holy crap.
So if you mention that, we will come to you. That includes, like I said, those 5 to 6 pictures,
Holy crap.
which you
I got
also get in
goosebumps.
3 days or less. I didn't say that, but we also get the pictures to you in record time. So there's
3
no
days or
waiting.
less.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty fast.
$99 for that first package by mentioning Twin Brothers from different mothers. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Give the phone number. You got the sheet right there. I know we
Yeah,
gave
the
the
phone
website.
number
Yeah.
is 702-727-1195. Again, 702-727-1195. WeDoShots.com.
Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever you need. We're connected. So April, listen to that. You and your friends, $99 by mentioning Twin Brothers. For anybody that's out there, Twin Brothers from different mothers discount. Okay, she's written in there 3 times.
I see a new comment.
Yeah, hold on.
Awesome.
Let me scroll it down for
I will
you.
get in touch with you. I will get in touch with her.
There you go. So there you go. That's good. All right. We're wrapping up. Guys, this has been a lot. John's like, really? It's that fast? You mean I got to go to work after this?
This happens all
We
the time.
literally do have a shoot right after
I'm sure you
this.
do.
So, yeah,
So
we're excited.
we won't keep you too much longer. We're just about done. Any closing thoughts before we say goodbye?
I would just say that, we would love to show you what the truck looks like. So for anybody who wants to, get a new headshot or update their headshot, please reach out to us. We're really excited to offer the $99. So please just mention that, you watched us on here so we can do that for you.
Wow. That's
Thank
cool.
you.
That's way cool. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. It's been a blast. Appreciate you very much.
Yes,
John, thank
thank
you
you.
for coming in. We're glad we could facilitate a whole family reunion for you, coast to coast. around the show.
John, by the way, you did great. You were really hesitant about coming on camera,
Yeah,
but
did very good.
you were fine.
He was like a natural.
Yeah.
But so I get some people who are usually behind the camera don't like being in front of it. Besides, you're the face of the company, dare I say, as part of We Do Shots, right?
Yeah.
And
I mean, like you said, playing to your strengths, right? So,
Exactly.
John takes pictures I don't know. They're beautiful and they always turn out. And I am photographic, what's the word? Challenged, I guess. That's just not something I can do. I try my best. I really do. And it's not for me.
It's funny talking to a millennial because you are a millennial.
Yeah.
I only heard the word like about 6 times in the entire hour. And normally with a millennial, 6 likes is in the first
Sentence.
7 sentences. Yeah.
That's good. Well,
Yeah.
but remember, we got a very polished business person.
Yes, we
here.
do.
So, like you said, you
Yes,
know your
we do.
game. Lindsay and John, thank you again for coming on. More from
Thank
these guys.
you.
Remember, reach out to them. Mention Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. $99 off is the price from $150 for saying that you mentioned and heard it here on our podcast. Mr. Neal, sir.
Closing thoughts for all our listeners and viewers out there. If you too would like to be a guest on Twin Brothers from Different Mothers, or possibly be a sponsor for our show, you saw today a little bit about what we do. We help people, and we are nationwide and
We're
worldwide
international.
and growing every week. This is our 7th month of doing the show. I look forward to my Saturday mornings with my partner, Aaron Phillips, and usually 2 or 3 hours before, I'll look at him and go, who do we got coming on? And he'll tell me he sent me 12 messages.
That is very true.
Whatever.
But you know what? You're right on. And I want to let the audience know in response to what you just mentioned about opportunities. We are booked through June 22nd with guests.
Yep.
So this train is well out of the station and is steaming thousands of miles an hour here. So if you want to jump on for an interview or interested in the regular advertising packages, sponsorship, let us know. You can email us at twinbrothersdifferentmothers@gmail.com. You can call me on my cell, which is 702-286-0063, or the shop is
702-685-2929. That's Portnoy Gallery.
I want to wish everybody on behalf of all of us here at Twin Brothers a very special happy Mother's Day tomorrow. To all you mothers out there, next week we will be up at the Vegas Hockey and Sports Store up in Centennial with Rick Knowles, our guest, and part of their grand opening festivities. So come on down. We'll be on from our normal 12 to 1-ish, maybe longer. Have a great week, everybody. From all of us here at Twin Brothers from Different Mothers.